What's good, YouTube? It's of course Leviathan Prophecy, and I'm just gonna do two videos today. I am beat. What time is it right now? It is 2:57. I got out of work around 4 o'clock. No, around 6. No, around 8 o'clock this morning. So, um, I was watching Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp today, and obviously they was going back and forth. The Clippers blew out the Blazers, and Skip is gonna make a whole bunch of, is they like he's gonna make a bigger deal out of it. Like, okay, you blew out the Lakers, Skip. Like, come on. Like, didn't they blow out the Lakers like yesterday or Sunday? So you know how that goes. I forgot to mention yesterday that the Clippers added not Paul George, DeMarcus Cousins to a 10-day contract, and that's huge. That's a huge pickup. I know he was on the Lakers, but you have to understand that Lakers team was toxic. That it really was. You could tell he didn't want to be there. You know. But when you see him playing with the Clippers, he'd have no problem. He's, gelling with his teammates. You can see the difference, Like acting like AD, LeBron, and Andre Drummond is fucking Superman or some shit. Like, they all got weaknesses, just like how everybody have strengths and weaknesses. We sometimes tend to overlook the weakness and just focus on the strength, because nobody wants to say, oh, you were bad at this but you're good at this. like I know if I'm facing somebody in the video game or in real life, I have to know their weakness. That's just my mindset. I said mindset. My mindset. It's kind of like an Aquarius thing. Like a Michael Jordan. Like, if Michael Jordan was facing somebody in his era, he would have to know that guy's weakness. Like, what makes him tick? Like, why doesn't he finish with his left hand, but he never finishes with his right hand? You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, And trust me, Michael Jordan would do some shit like that. He's super competitive. That's just how he is. But as a person, as a regular person, you just have to find that person's weakness, Like, everybody has a weakness, Like, everybody was born with a weakness. Nobody grew up with just strength, Like, there's ways to stop AD. There's ways to stop LeBron. There's ways to stop Drummond. You just have to know how, But again, people just focus on their strengths way too much, Like LeBron James. There's a lot of LeBron James have a lot of weaknesses that people don't know about. Drummond has a lot of weaknesses that a lot of people know about. AD have a lot of weaknesses people don't know about, and I'm not talking about injuries for none of those guys. And basically, Stephen A. Smith, not Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless was going off the mouth saying that, oh, this Clippers team looks way much better, and he was throwing Rondo at Shannon Sharp's face like Rondo is a missing, like if Rondo was a missing key. And he said, I don't care if they're the number one seed, third seed, second seed, mustard seed, mustard seed. Oh my God, Shannon be cracking me up, boy. He said, Lakers in 6. When old baby goat James come back, it's gonna be a rap, Skip. But and then Skip, saying, and then he was going to freaking games like way back that has nothing to do with today's game. And he's like LeBron James shot this much percentage in his, last year they was going to the bubble and stuff like that. And yes, we all know the bubble. The bubble was very, very weird. To be honest with you, like the nobody expected the Heat to actually make the playoffs. Let alone reach the NBA Finals and take the Lakers to six. A lot of people thought it was going to be over at 4 or 5, but the Lakers, the Heat took it to them. Even with a 60%, 50% Gordon, 50% Bam Adebayo, they still kind of pulled it off. You know, could have forced the game 6, but it is what it is. But this year is gonna be much different. But for me, man, I just think that the gas has run out. I don't think the Lakers are gonna repeat. You know, whatever. I mean, what happened in the bubble? I mean, they took advantage of it. Damian Lillard was hurt. A lot of people was hurt in that playoff. Porzingis was not even playing. Damian Lillard was hurt. Most of the game. So, the Lakers took advantage of that. But I think this year with everybody being healthy, I think the Lakers are not going to repeat. I don't know who's going to beat them, to be honest with you, because the seedings are not really final yet. So we don't know where they're going to drop. And you look at their next remaining games, they got Brooklyn, they got the Knicks, they got the Heat. It's not looking good. Like they could beat teams like the Kings, they could beat teams like the Pistons, the Wizards, but if they face teams that's above 500, they struggle. Like I don't know if y'all peep that out. Like every time they have not beaten a team that's over 500 yet. Name me a team that they beaten since the All-Star break, since they got hurt that they beaten. They beaten the what, Kings? Really? Like they beaten the freaking Pistons? Like really? So, I mean, now it's gonna get to the nitty-gritty, Now we're gonna see what they're about. Without all their weapons out there, they're gonna get blown out and probably in those games. I'm not saying that they're gonna get blown out by the Heat. Probably by the Nets. Knicks, Knicks have a league, and then the Knicks always play with a chip on their shoulders. So the Knicks might probably come off to a big start, jump to a big start, and they might probably squander the league or mess around and let them come back. Like they did against Brooklyn. So you don't know what you're gonna get there. So their next 3 games, they got the Heat, the Brooklyn, and then the Knicks, and then after that they got the Celtics next. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of L's. But I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's just people just put so much emphasis on what like. So if the Lakers don't win it this year, a lot of people are gonna blame it on injuries, like they always do. Like what's sports without injuries, right? You know, like I'm pretty sure if sports didn't have injuries, freaking Derrick Rose would have still been playing in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Um, like you said, I don't know why I was traded, but I like to tell them thank you, for real. But I mean, that dude put so much, into the city of Chicago, man. They did him wrong, you know. But it is what it is. Um, but I bet you they'll never find another player like him again. I know Zach LaVine is trying his best, but Zach LaVine is no Derrick Rose. Um, but um, but yeah, man. So my Knicks. So yeah. So basically, I mean, like I said, man, it's gonna come down to injuries. If they could be healthy, which we all know they're not going to be healthy because bones don't heal like that. You know what I'm saying? So they might slowly come back, but they're not going to be themselves. And then people are going to, say, oh, they lost is because they were this and that. Like people will find excuses, especially Lakers fans. They'll find the most absurd excuse to say that, okay, how come they couldn't just get beat fair and square? You know, like there's no problem of losing. You know, like we all know the Lakers was not going to repeat. Some people have them repeating, some people don't. It is what it is. It's their opinion, you know. But like I said, the bubble helped them a lot because a lot of people got injured at the right time. You know, I mean, it is what it is. But I just think that, you know, this year is going to be way different. This year it's going to be different, you know. The competition in the West and the East is pretty much even, you know, so now I'm not gonna say that they're gonna get beaten in the first round because, like I said, we don't know the seedings. You know, the seedings has yet to be determined, so we don't know where the Lakers are gonna finish. Now if you know, they can lose out. To be honest with you, if they do lose out, they're gonna fall way down in the rankings. So, which means that they're gonna have to fight for one of those playoff spots. You know what I'm saying? Because the new tournament rules and stuff like that. Like you have to beat this team to get the number seventh or eighth seed and stuff like that. So yeah. So if they do lose throughout here, I don't know because the tournament starts next month on May 18th, I believe. So they got this month, and then they got next month. So whoever they face, like I said, they're gonna have to face the Heat, the Knicks, and the Nets and the Celtics. So that's probably 4 straight losses right there. And they're what, 30 and 18? So they're probably going to be like around 26 and 31, 32, seeing, you know, if they can, you know, win at least one of those games. But yeah, man, so like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.